Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's look at another question from the DP-700 exam. Here's the scenario. You have a Fabric workspace named Workspace 1. Inside that workspace, you have a Lakehouse named Lakehouse 1. Lakehouse 1 contains three tables: orders, customer, and employee. Now here's the important part. The employee table contains personally identifiable information, PII data. A data engineer is building a workflow that requires writing data to the customer table. However, the user does not have the elevated permissions required to view the contents of the employee table. So the requirement is clear. You must ensure that the data engineer can write data to the customer table without being able to read data from the employee table. Now pause here. This question is clearly about permission isolation and data security. Not Spark, not SQL, security design. Before choosing anything, let's quickly read the options. Option A. Share Lakehouse 1 with the data engineer. Option B. Assign the data engineer the contributor role for Workspace 2. Option C. Assign the data engineer the viewer role for Workspace 2. Option D. Assign the data engineer the contributor role for Workspace 1. Option E. Migrate the employee table from Lakehouse 1 to Lakehouse 2. Option F. Create a new workspace named Workspace 2 that contains a new Lakehouse named Lakehouse 2. Option G. Assign the data engineer the viewer role for Workspace 1. Okay, now let's slow down and think carefully. Let's simplify the problem. The data engineer must write data to the customer table and must not be able to read PII data in the employee table. So we need two things: write permissions where required and isolation of sensitive data. Now let's evaluate each option. Option A, share Lakehouse 1. Sharing the Lakehouse increases access. And that's risky when PII data is involved. This does not provide isolation, so we eliminate this option. Next, options B and C, contributor or viewer for Workspace 2. But here's the problem. Workspace 2 doesn't even exist yet. Assigning roles without isolating data does nothing, so these options alone are insufficient. Next, option G, viewer role for Workspace 1. Viewer role is read-only, but the data engineer needs to write data to the customer table. So this option does not meet the requirement. Now let's look at the correct path. Option F, create Workspace 2 and Lakehouse 2. This is the first important step. By creating a separate workspace and Lakehouse, we create a clean boundary for sensitive data. Next, option E, migrate the employee table to Lakehouse 2. Now the table that contains PII is fully isolated. The sensitive data is no longer in Lakehouse 1. And finally, option D, assign the data engineer the contributor role for Workspace 1. This allows the data engineer to write data to the customer table without having any access to the employee table. So the correct answers are D, assign contributor role for Workspace 1. E, migrate employee table to Lakehouse 2. F, create Workspace 2 and Lakehouse 2. That's why the correct answer is D, E, and F. Before we wrap up, here's a key DP-700 exam rule. If you see PII data, restricted access, write access without read access, your first thought should be data isolation using separate workspaces or lakehouses, because permissions alone are often not enough. If this video helped you understand security design in Fabric, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment next for the next DP-700 question. See you in the next one.